Good morning, traders. I want to hop on here real quick and do a hypo for the week. All right, so here is our weekly chart. I have up here this 25% extension of the range. It's a pie in the sky number. The way I achieved that was I put a Fibonacci measuring tool on here. You put the 1 here. I'm off on a little bit on my line or something. I'm off a little bit on something. So when we eclipse the all-time high right here, oh my gosh, I just moved the whole dadgum thing. You know what? The all-time high isn't there. The all-time high is here. When we eclipse that all-time high right here, seeing a 25% extension past the previous all-time high, so you extend that whole range. This is a pie in the sky number. Will we get there? I don't know. I had it at 450, but it looks like 465 is 24,465 is the number. Will we get there? I don't know. It's a pie in the sky number. I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. When we had this pullback and went back up, that's a 25% extension of this range, but this is a gigantic range. So I don't know if we'll get there, to be honest with you. If we, this all that tariff news that caused this. If we were to move this over here and just say extend this run, like this never happened, where would the 25% mark be? It would be at 24,016. So that might be something to keep an eye out. These are just pie in the sky numbers. If we continue trading higher, where could we possibly go? I'm more interested, because I'm a reversal trader, in reversals. I don't really want to try to catch an all-time high and wonder where we might end up, because that's just not my trading style. I'm a reversal trader. So, looking at the weekly chart, it looks like we could continue to go through the moon. This area right here is a fair value gap on the weekly chart. If we start to trade down, this will be a target right here. I'm going to get rid of the 125 just for this particular thing. So I'll make sure and mark it out right. So that would be our fair value gap on the weekly, right there. And if we start offering lower, this could be a target. There is no fair value gap here. It's filled in. So that's our only objective down low. From a daily perspective, there are some relative equal lows here. And then we have a really nice clean line right here. This 22.8 to me is a target. All of this, when you see a straight line on the charts, I mean, that's a big target. So on the daily chart perspective, we have a fair value gap right here to the upside. And we tried to fill it in just before going and making the all-time high, but we left just a tiny portion of it open, and that indicates bullishness. And I actually traded this and caught a nice reversal pattern right there. If you looked at some of my daily reversal pattern videos, you saw that. So yeah, this filling in the entirety of this fair value gap is also a target. So keep those numbers in mind. 23.1 is the low end. Filling that in would be a possibility. But I really like this level right here, 22.8. You could say, I'm just going to take the average of all of those. I'm just going to mark it at 22.8 and put relative equal lows on the daily chart here. if we start offering lower in a big way, this could also be a target. Fill it in this as well. If we start offering higher, there's no telling where we're going to go. You just grab a couple of micros and hold on tight, because it could rip that back lower just as fast as it's going up. It's just kind of ambiguous territory there. So I have settlement marked out, and I did mark out these 4-hour levels. Well, I mark them on a 4-hour chart, regular trading hours only. And then I transfer over to the daily chart, and any one that's at a daily level, I change the wording just a little bit, okay? So I just started doing this recently, but it seemed to work out. When we have multiple time frames at the same level, that's a good thing. Okay, so this is 4-hour daily as well as 4-hour regular trading hours. So I could put also RTH here. Regular trading hour, 4-hour, and daily low. I use the color to indicate the low. Copy that. And we have another one here that also fits that criteria. I've stopped marking the extended trading hour highs and lows on the 4-hour. So all of these are going to be RTH. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here so I don't forget. Okay, and then I don't like the way that's spaced. There, that's better. Okay, and then let's go to the weekly. We don't have one on the weekly. We have way down here a daily. Let's go back to the 4-hour. Oh, this one's not here. So this one would be RTH, 4-hour, daily, weekly. So that's a big level. Multiple time frames, larger time frames, all corresponding on one point on the chart. That is my low target for the week, 23,107. We're at 23,436. Heck, we can make it there in one single day if we get past that. Another thing I like about this is we have a volume imbalance here that has been left open. This is a new day opening gap. I see this getting traded to. So lower target might even be down into here, 23,057. You can mark that out. What I usually do on these, I don't really keep them. Oh, come on. Why won't you move? There we go. I don't keep them on the chart that much, but they're important. And you just label it NDOG for new day opening gap. Okay. And you can clone it and put it up here, and it'll correspond well with the bottom of that fair value gap that we didn't quite hit. So lots of draws down here. A daily, a weekly, and a 4-hour regular trading hour low, a new day opening gap, which created a volume imbalance on the daily chart. That to me is, I would call it the weekly kickoff low if I was a Hogue, but that to me is a level we could trade to. If we get past that, our relative equal lows down here on the daily chart are also a target. And you could also mark this one as just a 4-hour regular trading hour low if you wanted to. But I'm just going to leave that on the chart for the lower target. If we start offering lower than that, I'll mark it out. But that's my kickoff for the week. And so I do want to talk just briefly about, I had a little shift in my trading Tuesday night. I was still feeling like a desperation. Oh, I got to get funded. I got to do it right now. And I was out actually at the bar and having a few beers, and I was on my phone looking at the charts, looking at. I actually got into a position in the Asia session, and I got smoked. And if you've ever traded on your phone, it's hard to see. I'd put in an order, a take profit order that was lower than what my original bracket was, so I had to close the first one and then put in a manual order on the DOM. And I ended up, that trade was not working out as well as I would like to it. It wasn't moving my way as fast as I would like for it to move. And so I ended up killing the trade. I think it was like a break even trade, not a big deal. But I didn't cancel that order that I'd put in there. And the market did go my way. If I would have been a little more patient, it would have went my way. So I was mad about that. And then it filled my order, where my original take profit was, and stopped me out on that and cost me $400. And my head was about to explode. Okay. So I put my phone away. I just focused on having a good time and ignored the fact that I just made a blunder. And the next morning, I woke up with a completely different mindset. It was so strange. I was like, you know what? I'm only going to trade this. I'm only going to try for this 20, 30 points a couple times a day. And if I just make that consistent profit, I will build up an account that I can work with, and I will be able to scale at that point. If you are consistently making $200, $300, $400 a day, whatever it is, if you did one of these reversal patterns that I show, they happen every day. If you did just one of those a day and grab 20 points on a mini, you could confidently trade a mini if you wait for that signal. That's $400. Close the computer, walk away. You made your money for the day. Go away. You do that for a month, and you got $8,000 in your account. Okay. What if you scaled up to 2? By the end of that next month, you got $24,000 in your account. Now it's not going to make you pucker up to leave a trade on, and maybe you try for that home run every now and then and get 50 points or 100 points on a run, because you have more than $2,000 to work with in a 50K combine. So that's the goal here. And that I've been saying that for a while, that's what I was going to do, but I haven't actually been doing that. I've still been trading in like a desperation type of mode, and having that, I got to get funded right away kind of a feeling. So I was thinking of an analogy that would compare, and maybe you can relate to this. Dieting. Okay. Between meals, I am a fantastic dieter. I can sit down and write out this meal plan. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to do veggies and all this other stuff, and low fat and low carb. And I can write all that down. And man, I've got a good plan going into my next meal. Okay. And then the hunger hits, and my blood sugar starts to drop, and I get hangry. And I'm like, okay, I'll start the diet next meal, because right now I just got to get something in my body, and my blood sugar is dropping. I got to eat. Okay. And so I run and I grab junk food to satisfy the immediate need of eating. Okay. That's what trading is like. So I do that process, and then I do it over and over and over again until I throw my diet plan out the window. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna eat what I want for another month, and then I'll transition back to, I really need to get back on that diet, and then I start planning it again, and the same cycle repeats itself. So if you look at trading like that, you're making your plan. This is it. I'm gonna do $400 a day, and then that's it. I'm gonna stop. Well, once you get in there, and just like dieting, your blood sugar starts to drop. Your thoughts of Well, I need the money right now. I could have made more on that trade. If I wouldn't have killed that, it would have made me $2,000. All these thoughts start creeping in, and your desperation starts creeping in. And instead of sticking to your plan, you run out and you buy that double cheeseburger or that extra large pizza and you eat it all in one sitting. That's the equivalent of blowing up your account when you're in trading. In my opinion, I think that's a really good analogy because most people can relate to blowing a diet, and it's the same kind of a mental process. It really is. Trading does expose a lot of your issues that you have with stuff like that, and you got to face them head on. If you're going to be successful in trading, you got to be real honest with yourself, get real in touch with yourself. And so I'm saying I suck at dieting, and I'm trying to get better at sticking to my trading plan, but sometimes I just want that freaking cheeseburger. Gambling feels good. It's fun. If you can jump into a trade anywhere on the chart and win, it's fun. It makes you feel like a superstar. But it is not a productive strategy in the long run. That's what you have to come to realize is it's not. You may get lucky one day. You may get lucky 3 days. You may get lucky for a month. But it's not consistently going to pay you money if you don't have a solid trading plan. Wait for these 4-hour highs and lows to be taken. Wait for that reversal pattern. That's a solid trading plan. And once you make your $300-400, stop. No more trades that day. It's not going to give you 1,000 opportunities a day. It won't. You might get 2 opportunities in a day, but you're not going to have multiple opportunities. So once you get that, stop. Go mow the grass, go to the gym, go to work, go whatever you do, but don't trade anymore that session. Okay? You take these steps. Once you conquer the trading, that's my plan. Once I conquer the trading, I'm going to go to a fat camp and make them help me conquer that cheeseburger addiction. But I hope everybody makes a lot of money this week. I'm hoping to get funded tomorrow. I'm on that new dashboard, so I can go ahead and pay for it and start trading the same day. So my hope is that I can get funded tomorrow and go ahead and get it all set up. Maybe catch a little trade just to get me a $200 qualifying day. And if the rest of the week goes swimmingly, I could get a payout by Friday. I really want to do how to take a payout on Topstep, because up until now, no matter with all this information I've been sharing and all that, up to right now, this is still a hobby and it's an expensive one. But I'm going to get that payout because I'm not going to give up. And every day I do these post-market reviews, I see I had opportunity. I either blew it or I was too scared to take it. But the opportunity is there every single day. I just have to be patient, wait for it, and I know the profit will come. It's just that avoiding that double cheeseburger, because sometimes the markets will show you a double cheeseburger and they'll make you believe it, or you'll make yourself believe it, and it's really not. It's one of them impossible burgers, one of them fake ones that's with that impossible meat or vegetable burger that you want to just spit out when you taste it. But anyway, be kind to yourself, be kind to one another. I love each and every one of you. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. If you haven't subscribed, I love when I log on to my YouTube and I've got one extra subscriber. It just thrills me to death. So, and remember to like the videos too, because that will help refer them to other people. And I want everybody that is struggling with this to be able to listen to my videos, relate. The struggle is not just them. I mean, this is a very difficult industry, very competitive, and we're going to get a leg up. We are. We're going to get our edge, and we're going to be successful. Okay. Till next time, folks. Trade well.